Hello and welcome to Harmonious World. My name is Hilary Seabrook. Here on Harmonious World, I chat with musicians about what they do. And it comes from the Quincy Jones quote, "Imagine what a harmonious world it would be if everyone shared a little of what they're good at." And this is about those musicians sharing what they are good at. And this time I'm joined by pianist Joel Lyssarides. His new album, Arcs and Rivers, with Georgios Prokopiou, is out now on Act Records. What you're listening to now is Arcs from Arcs and Rivers by Joel and Georgios. I hope you enjoy listening to some of this and also to my conversation with Joel. How's life?
Life is really good, but I'm in a period now where I'm like basically working. I feel like I'm working 3 jobs at the same time because I'm going on a. First of all, I'm doing a big like composition project, very big, that is like 9 to 5 that I can't talk too much about. But then I'm also tomorrow I'm going to the south of Sweden to perform with a symphony orchestra. A friend of mine who is a composer wrote some things. And then next week on Monday, I'm going on tour with Billy Cobham for 21 days.
No way!
And then, then I have the big project, which is the composing thing. I actually had a deadline on Friday, but I think we have to move that. So anyways, it's like, I explained it to a friend that you work 9 to 5 and then you work 5 to midnight and then you sleep. So it's like if you can squeeze 2 days in every day, it's fine. But it's only for a short period, so
yeah,
I'm good. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
And,
that's really exciting that you're going out with Billy Cobham.
I know. I mean, he's a legend.
That's Billy Cobham, right?
You were coming to London, I think.
Yeah, you are.
But,
and in fact, that's on my schedule of one of the gigs that I hope to get to. So I might see you there.
But I hope that it's a public event because I think we're doing something for his the drum like his drums. I don't know how you say it. Like
his sponsor or something. His sponsor?
The drum kit that he's playing, the manufacturer. So it might be like a private event, but hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Do you know if Bjorn Arco is playing sax?
Yeah, I mean, I just spoke to him on the phone. We went to high school together. He's a very good friend. Do you know him?
Yeah. So there's a funny story.
Okay, tell me.
So Bjorn was playing with Billy Cobham, obviously, at Love Supreme in the UK in the summer. And I was just blown away by his playing. I'm a sax player, but I was just like, he was sensational. And obviously Billy Cobham was great. And Gary Husband was on keyboards for that show, for that tour. And it was just an amazing show. Anyway, so I did it while I was there. I went online and I found, so I like looked up Billy Cobham and who his band was and realized that Bjorn was the sax player. So then I looked him up and I just sent him a message on his website and I just went, "Do you want to come on my podcast?" And he was like, all right. And I think he thought I was going to
Oh,
have a stalker or something.
nice. Yeah, but I saw he posted something about a podcast this
There
summer. So
you
okay, it
go.
must have been that. Oh, nice.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it was really interesting talking to him because obviously he's got this uh thing where he's sort of back and forth with Japan and that sort of thing.
yeah.
So that's really interesting anyway. And obviously he's a great sax player and he's got this stupid, insane electronic sax that he plays.
Yes, what is it called? The one that looks like a tiny spaceship.
Yeah, and it's got like
Uh,
8 octaves or something ridiculous.
yes, yeah, I've seen it. I think
Yeah.
it's gonna come with us next week.
I don't think he can leave it at home.
No.
Anyway, so that's like really amazing that I had him on and now
Oh
it's
well,
you.
yeah, that's great. I mean, we met the first day in high school when we were 15, and we just ended up at a jam session, and we became like best friends and learned to play
Wow.
music together. So we've known each other for yeah more than 15 years now.
Wow. Brilliant. Well, I'm so glad you were able to join me for this
Me
because,
too. Finally.
yeah, because Arcs and Rivers is such a great album. I love it.
Oh, thank you so much. You know what? I'm actually really, really happy about it too. And I can't say that about everything I've done. I mean, because, or I'm happy about everything I've done because I guess you did as good as you could in the moment. But I feel like there's a lot of stress involved in making a record, and sometimes you have to like compromise and just, even if you're not super happy with everything, it has to, you have to be done at some point. And but I feel like with this recording, the way we did it, it was so spontaneous, and we recorded it in the living room of uh, our record label at Act. You know Act, right?
Yeah, right.
Siggy Loch, the founder of Act, his in his living room.
Wow.
So I mean, it was very spontaneous. We not isolated. We just did it. When it's not isolated, you can't redo things because there's
No.
too much like what's the word?
Well, the ambient, is it?
Nah, when
No.
leakage, or
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know,
yeah, 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 yeah.
into the microphones. So we had to do it in one take, and yeah, it was great fun. Uh, and I'm very
Yeah.
happy with the result too. I mean, I never released something that was like this, like raw and unedited, and just like, okay, here we go. Uh, Quickest, but one of the most fun recording sessions that I've done. I think.
Yeah. But also it was only recorded back in April, wasn't it?
Yeah, April, or was it May? No, I can't remember. I was on a tour with Victoria Tolstoy.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I had like a few days off, so we got this date, and I went to Berlin. We recorded it in one day, and then less than a day because Yorgos had a flight back home in the afternoon. So, uh, and that was it. Yeah, April.
Yeah. It's crazy, but it's really good because it's a lovely album and there is a sense of spontaneity about it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I mean, I think I love it too because I love playing with Yorgos, and I love him as a person, and we had so much fun just making this music. And I mean, I feel like working with him that there are no limits to what you can do. I mean, um, and it's like an ongoing project, and it's a little bit strange too because it's bouzouki and piano,
I
which I think
Yeah.
it's not too common.
Well, no. Find me another jazz album that's got piano and bouzouki on it. I don't think
Yeah,
there are any.
no. So I'm
It
that also
works
makes me
though.
happy. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean the bouzouki it's like it's a lute, or I mean it has that kind of sound, and I mean it has many sounds. I think it's a rich instrument, and I mean you can play legato and very soft and lyrical things, and you can be very. I mean it has a very wide range. I think. And I mean, for
Yeah.
many people don't know what a bazooki is. My label, they did the classic, mix it up with a bazooka, because people don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. So at the start of this podcast, I played a little bit of arcs, and at this point, I want to play a bit of rivers. I mean, partly because I
Yeah.
like it, but so both of these you composed. They both got your credits on. Now, how much of this was composed and how much of it was improvised?
So I think these two songs, I brought these ideas to Yorgos, and I think the arcs. I mean, which is the first song of the album, that is more or less written out. Like and Yorgos contributed with some like passages that made it sound just even more Greek, I think.
Yeah.
And some modulations that I didn't think about. And I mean, and this Rivers song, the version we recorded on the album, I like that version. But we, like the week after, we did our first show in Stockholm, and Yorgos, like 10 minutes before we went on stage, he was like, "I have an idea about this song," and then he completely changed it. And and that version is more like the one we recorded that is now on YouTube. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
why am I saying that? Yeah, because Yorgos has been very important. I mean, he's been an important contributor.
Yeah. So at the end of this, I want to play Lyssarides' Lament, which feels like that's a very personal. So were you lamenting something in particular, or where did that come from? Or was it just that style of?
I mean, we made it almost as a joke because my previous records have been very, very depressing. And a friend of mine is always, I mean, I'm happy about, I mean, I think it's a sound. I mean, it's a very like Scandinavian dark sound. But then a friend of mine, I mean, it became almost like a joke when he would put some of that on, and whenever there was like a sad scene or something, and I realized like, yeah, I mean, it's I mean, it's a part of who I am, I guess. But the reason I picked that title was more like I mean, it has some kind of humor to it as well. Although I think it has it's actually not even a song that I composed. It's a something I improvised and put on my Instagram stories. And then somebody wrote, "You should record this." And then I listened back and said, "Okay." So and then I just transcribed the notes that I played in that video, and then recorded it. So I didn't really think about it too much. Just like the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Brilliant. So this brings together Yorgos Georgios, and your family background, because was it your father or your grandfather who came
My
across?
grand my grandfather, and yeah, actually he was the one who came to Sweden in the 50s. Yeah, my on my how do you say that? Maternal
Yeah,
grandfather or
maternal. Yeah.
maternal? Okay, yeah, that's the word. You can use it in your podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, he came with his brother
Right.
in 1947 or something, I think. And then he met my grandmother here, who was Finnish.
Oh, wow.
And she came right after the Finnish Winter War. I don't know if
Okay.
that's what you
Yeah.
call it in English. And then they met here in the 50s.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so then obviously your mother was born, and is your father Swedish?
He is Swedish, but I never got to meet his parents because my grandfather, paternal
Yeah.
grandfather,
Yeah.
okay, I'm practicing. He was born in 1899.
Wow.
So, and he died in like 1976. And also yeah, can't use that word, grandmother, he was born in 1901. So, yeah, it's just two generations.
Wow.
Um, so
Yeah.
never got to meet them, but I think that from what I heard, he was also from a part of Finland that used to be Russia, that is now Finland.
Right.
And yeah.
Yeah, because there's been all sorts of changes, hasn't there, on that part of the
Yeah, I don't even
yeah.
know. I mean, it's,
No,
yeah.
no, no, but that's okay. And so you now live in Stockholm.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, how often do you get to Greece? Do you go there very often?
So he was a Greek Cypriot. So it's Cyprus. That's my
Ah,
connection.
Cyprus.
But it's,
Okay.
I mean, they speak Greek, but I don't speak Greek, but they have a very strong accent
Yeah.
in Cyprus. So I was there a month ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you were telling me a little bit at the start of the things you've got coming up, and you're obviously going to be very busy. And I look forward to
Uh,
hearing about your big composing thing and what
oh
that
yeah,
is.
yeah. We can talk about that later. It's
Yeah, exactly. Another time.
it's a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Okay. Good. Good. And you're going out with Billy Cobham, so that's very exciting.
Yes, on Monday. We're
Yeah.
going to his place first. He lives in Switzerland
Right.
since like I don't know 40 years or something. So
Yeah.
that's where we start, and we're gonna rehearse a little bit, and then yeah, then we do the first run.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds cool. So what
Mhm.
about you and Gorgios? Are you doing some touring at some
Yes.
point?
So I didn't really have time to even do a release gig, because of other things. Now, when the record was released 2 weeks ago, so we have one official release. I guess it's gonna be in the Berlin. I never know how to say this. Berlin Philharmonie or
Yeah,
the
Philharmonic.
Philharmonic.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the the chamber music hall. We're gonna do a gig there on the 10th of November,
Okay.
which is a very nice room uh,
Yeah.
for this duo, I think. I mean, playing big rooms like that can be intimidating sometimes, and it can also be annoying if you have very loud drums. I mean, they're really made for like chamber music groups, or
Yeah.
so I think for this duo, it's gonna be great. I'm really looking forward to this one, and we
Yeah.
share that night with. Oh, forgive me, I forgot the names. Majid Beka, I think his name is a Moroccan. He plays a really cool instrument that I forgot the name of,
Okay.
and yeah, I need to
Okay.
look that up
Okay.
because
Yeah.
because not that I disrespect them. I from what I heard, it's amazing, but
Right.
it's just yeah, too
Yeah.
many
What I'll
things
do.
at the moment.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'll put a
Mm.
link on the show notes. I'll find it and
Yes,
put a link on it. It's fine.
10th of
Don't worry.
November.
Yeah. Okay. And Berlin is a wonderful place to play this sort of music, I think,
I
because
think so. Yeah, it's
yeah.
it's quite mixed. I know a lot of Turkish people in Berlin, and it's very funny because it's so clear with this record that I don't think Swedish people can really relate to Buzuki that much. But I mean, I played one track, the track where he plays Saz or Baglama,
Oh,
the
yes.
the one that he named Anamnesis. I played it
Yes.
for an Indian, a Pakistani taxi driver who said like, "Oh, this we have these sounds where I come from," and it was just like instant connection, musical connection, which I feel this record has opened a lot of other doors to people
Yeah.
who maybe usually wouldn't go see me in a jazz club. So
Yeah.
that's also very nice. At the same time, I feel like it's something that I feel connected to as well.
That's brilliant.
Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Fantastic. Oh, that's brilliant. It's so nice to talk to you, Joel. I'm so glad we finally got to do
No,
this.
I'm sorry about the delay.
That's
But
okay.
I'm happy we made it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll try and make contact with you when you're in London if I come to the Billy Cobham gig.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it should be a public event. But the problem with this band with now is that we are so many people on stage.
I
So it's like
know.
it's hard to book like a normal sized jazz club because if we're gonna be like three horn players and I don't know,
Yeah.
one, two guitar players. I have no idea. You saw the band.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
just saw the list. I don't know these musicians, uh,
Right.
but yeah, seven or eight. I don't know. Huge
Yeah.
band.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've just checked it. I've just looked it up we were talking. It's the
Yeah.
20th of November, and it's at the South Bank Centre at the Queen Elizabeth Hall, which
Okay,
is
but that's
lovely.
actually another show. I think Gary's gonna do that one because that's with
Oh,
that is with
was that
the
the Spectrum?
yeah, and this band has a different name. I think this band is called Time Machine, but I'm confused because there is a Spectrum 40 and then there's a Spectrum 50
Yeah.
because that's but this is another band. But I think it's more or less the same members as in the other band.
Right. Okay.
I guess just because Gary couldn't do it, they had to change the name.
All right. Yeah. Oh,
No,
well.
but people should definitely go and check that out. Also,
Yeah.
Gary is like he's
Well,
one of my
Gary's insane.
big
I mean,
heroes. Like on drums, on keys. Like
how is that possible?
he's got such a unique voice as a keyboard player too. It's like it's so inspiring. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Really is. But I think he's about my age, so you've got a ways to go.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean
He's an
I'm
inspiration.
he is very much an inspiration.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, uh, if you and Bjorn get something together and come to the UK, that would be great as well.
Yeah, we could join your podcast as a duo.
Exactly. That would be brilliant.
That would be nice.
Fantastic. Yeah. Oh, thank
Okay.
you for joining me, Joel. I really
No,
appreciate it.
Hillary, it was my pleasure. And thank you for contacting me.
Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to that conversation. And what you're listening to now is indeed Lyssarides' Lament, which is Joel's very short piece, but it is just lovely. And I'm looking forward to seeing him at some point. And it's funny that he's good friends with Björn, who is one of my past guests. So I hope you enjoyed listening to that conversation. Have a great week. Thank you for listening to the latest episode of Harmonious World. My name is Hilary Seabrook, and it's a great delight to bring this series of discussions with musicians and composers and writers and all sorts of people to you. Obviously, there's no point in having a podcast if people aren't listening, and I'm very grateful to my listeners for doing so. Thanks also to Joe English for composing and performing this new theme tune. So wherever you get your podcast, you can leave a review. You can share this with your friends and family, either as a link or on social media and that sort of thing. I'd be really grateful for that. Don't forget that you can subscribe now. There's a link wherever you get your podcasts. So have a great week, and please remember why I started this, which is just to try and make the world a little more harmonious. Thanks for listening to Harmonious World.